Yeah,
Look at his face.
yeah. Too up, too down.
Look at his face.
Hey, yeah.
Money.
Yeah, I wanted the crown and to be celebrated. I rented a tux and I ordered a mink. Stood in the mirror like mama, I made it. Proceeded to brush in the teeth in the sink. Caught me a grill and I'm so melanated. I polished the chain, I ain't gold in the link. And I got me a baby who gave me some babies. I'm raising a lady and building a king. Too cold, you too busy running with another man lane, I guess. Yeah, too bold. I be running on the one way, never change my set like, I don't ever use my signals, yeah. I be in the lane myself, yeah. I don't gotta change my mental, yeah. And I ain't gotta chase my wealth, and I accept my daddy got a kingdom, and everything I ever got is his. If I ever got a problem, I'ma seek him. I never doubt him, been about his biz, oh man, been at. I ain't gotta ride on the wave when the ocean is his. Close with the kid with a
What's good, baby? It's your boy Dale. I'm back in the saddle again. Our motto is to buy, build. We already bought it already, so we already own it, free and clear. Refinance to long-term debt, cash flow. That is the motto. Cliff, man, is that a pretty strong motto, man? What do you think?
Man, the model is strong. Like, you're getting each piece of the invest, right?
What it do, baby? It's your partner Dale back in the saddle again for another edition of Real Estate Friday Training, man. You see, it's just me here today, man. Your partner Cliff, man. He's actually on vacation with his wife. Wife get it in with him and the family, just him and the wife. So that's good time for them. And actually, this weekend is my anniversary weekend. So it'll be, I believe, it's 17 years in the game with my baby mama with no drama, my wife. Man, she's allowing me the grace, man, to get the training on for you cats, man, to get it in with you guys, man. But you got your partner. Don't get it twisted. I still look better than you. It's so good, baby. Let's move forward, y'all. Hey, man, did I get the bag? Yes, I got the bag, y'all. I was doing a lot of traveling this week. I was in Birmingham, Alabama on Monday, handling some business, man, on the private equity side. And I was also in H-Town, Houston, take care of business on the private equity side as well. Also, don't you get it twisted. We got some closing coming up as well on some property in Mississippi. Also, some international deals I'm working on as well, man. So your boy, I believe some in other states as well. Also, I got to look at my calendar for closing. But guys, your boy's pretty active, man. So, man, I know it may be a little bit iffy in the market. Don't you worry, man. Your partner got you today on the Real Estate Live Training. We're gonna talk about something, man. Let's we dive into this thing, man. Let's look into the current market analysis. This is me coming from a private equity lender and an investor. Still the same type of thing. Nothing has really changed when it comes to the market, specifically on price points $350,000 and below, $350,000 and below. You're still seeing some action there because that's really at the bottom of the market. So you see very little change there, if that makes some sense. Number two, at 400,000 and above, so I say 400,000 to about $890,000. You're still seeing about 6+ months of days on the market. Mostly in that area, you'll have cash buyers from California, New York, Oregon, Washington, leaving those areas, coming to the Texases, the Tennessees, and the Floridas to come and buy these properties. And these properties are normally sitting on the market for 6+ months, probably about 6 to 9 months. But typically that buyer there is going to be a cash buyer. All right. Now, 90,000 and above, you're looking at 9 months plus. I've seen properties be on the market for going on 18 to 24 months, guys, and at $1 million and above areas. So it's you're beginning to see it, and that's because of the fact that the rates are still high. As you guys understood, the Fed, they are not pausing anything at all. They're not pausing nothing. So unfortunately, guys, that's what's going on there. And I think we may have lost some feed on Instagram, guys. Don't you worry, I get you guys back. But that's what's really going on in the market, guys. To be honest with you, is it kind of tough? Yeah, it is. But hey, to be honest with you, this is what normally happens, guys. So it's just, man, You're gonna have to be able to understand how this is gonna go. But don't you worry, guys. Your partner got you. Now, let's dive into this real quickly here. And if you guys have any questions, please let me know what's going on in your market. I'm specifically coming from a lender's perspective. Typically, I actually have Cliff on here, and he's coming from a active appraiser perspective, which is always vital, guys. But the exact same time, guys. Coming from a lender's perspective, real quickly here, it's getting tough out there, guys, for a lot of individuals. As you guys understood that the Fed, people were anticipating some type of rate cut. They actually paused on that, right? Not ruling out any potential rate cuts in the future. Now, Cliff believes, and I agree with him, there's going to be some form of rate cut, and I believe that will happen. It's going to be later on, though, guys, in the economy, but that's okay. It is what it is. That's going to realistically happen. So just to let you guys know what's going on. Uh, don't get it twisted. Rate cuts are coming, but don't expect those huge rate cuts. Don't expect any of that at all, guys. At all. All right, guys. So let's. I think we're back live on Instagram, guys. I believe so. I want to make sure we're good. Yeah, we're good. We're back live on Instagram, guys. So, pardon for that, guys. But let's dive into the topic of the day, guys. Yo, man, there's a foreclosure frenzy going on right now that you're probably not hearing a lot about because individuals are normally focusing just on rate cuts, right? Because, and I understand that most of the retail buyers want a lower cost of capital so they can go out and buy their dream home or their first home or their second home. As I told you before, the Fed has paused on that, but you're going to hear some information, and I'm going to let you know why this is happening here in a second. And you're going to hear it in this video here in a second of why this is going on. But I'm going to give my commentary as well, guys. But there is a foreclosure frenzy going on, guys. Just want to let you know what's going on. So let's dive into this real quick. Here we go. Boom. All right, let's go get it. Here we go.
Folks, the foreclosures are happening right now. The banks are taking people's houses, like this one right behind me. You can see this house is very clearly vacant. No one's living here, and there's a sign on the door talking about how this property is under management from Guardian Asset Management, a receiver for the bank who foreclosed on this property. And they're talking about how it's going to be offered for sale soon. And foreclosures like that are starting to pop up more and more across the U.S. housing market, with Adam Data Solutions just releasing a report saying that there was a meaningful spike in foreclosure activity in the first couple months of 2024, as more and more people, more and more homeowners are running out of money, not able to pay the bills and the mortgage on their house.
Stop right there, guys. You hear what he just said, guys. All right. He focused on not so much the property values. He focused on the income that said homeowners may not have because the cost of it's really because of inflation. The cost of goods and services just to live on have gone on so much that they can't afford their mortgage payment anymore. We told you the guys this was coming. Let's get going, guys, because he gets into the numbers here in a second. Here we go. Let's keep going.
Here's what a lot of people don't understand about the U.S. housing market right now is that the debt-to-income ratio
DTI
of home buyers is at a record level. According to data from Fannie Mae, the debt-to-income ratio for home buyers was 39% in 2023, meaning that the average home buyer in America is spending almost 40% of their gross income on mortgage and debt payments. That's even higher than what occurred in 05-06 at the peak of the last housing bubble before the big.
Look at that comparison, guys. Back in 2005, it was 30. I believe that's 38.9, I believe, or 38.5, and then now it's 39.2. A little bit uptick up before, but to even be equal to that and a little bit higher, that's a problem. He's talking about in 2005, right? I mean, I'm sorry, 2007. This is like months before the bottom dropped out when it came to the foreclosure crisis in 2007. A news flash, guys. Let me give you guys some news flash. I made so much money during that time frame. So much money because most people were running from the chaos. I was running to the chaos because the numbers that didn't make any sense for me at all. Back in 2005, guys, What you actually had was you actually had banks giving, I believe, 99.3% loans, which didn't make any fiscal sense at all. None at all, right? But then what happens is now what's happening is it's kind of switched a little bit to where it's not so much the LTV that banks are giving people, because they're giving people pretty good LTVs. The problem is the cost of goods and services to live on. Their debts have gone up, right? Um, and it's costing for them. Then I'm talking about credit card debt, because he's talking about DTI. Talk about DTI, debt to income ratio, guys. People had to manufacture a pay raise. They're borrowing more credit card debt. This is what's normally happening. And I think that most individuals were so focused just on the real estate interest rate from the Fed that people just forgot or just acted naive to the cost of goods and services going up, and people increasing their debt total when it comes to credit card debt. So people had to make the decisions: who should I pay? Who should I pay? And now what's happening is people are seeing that they can't afford both the mortgage payment and also the credit card payment as well at the exact same time, because of the fact that it's gone up so much, and the credit card interest rate is even high. Guys, man, let's keep going, man. This is good information for people that are just focused just on the interest rate. That's a good factor, but the analysis does not stop there. Let's keep going, guys. Here we go.
Foreclosure crash before the big home price crash. And what I think a lot of people in the housing market struggle to understand is how little margin for error there is in this housing market, right? With home prices so high and people priced out of the market like they never have been before, even a small increase in mortgage defaults and foreclosures has the potential to cause the entire house of cards to come crashing down.
Correct.
And to show you what I mean, I want to show you an article from
Listen to the
Adam
article.
Data Solutions, who's one of the biggest providers on mortgage default and foreclosure information in the housing market. They released an article earlier this year talking about how foreclosures increased in 2023. They went up in 2023, but that they were still below pre-pandemic levels. You can see that on this graph that we had about a 0.2% foreclosure rate in 2023, meaning 0.2% of all housing units were in foreclosure.
Correct.
Now, that's still very low, but I would encourage you guys to take a look at what happened in 08, 09, 2010 during the biggest crash of all time. The foreclosure rate spiked and went to barely over 2% of all housing units in that last crash.
2.8 million.
So think about that, everyone. In that last crash where prices went down 25% nationally and up to 65% in certain cities like Las Vegas.
He's right.
All it took was for the foreclosure rate to go up to 2% of all housing units. And I don't think a lot of people know that it was only actually a very small share of houses that were in foreclosure in the last downturn. It was 1 out of 50. And actually, I polled you guys on my channel and I asked you the question.
So, guys, listen to this, guys. He's talking about back in 2008, only 2% of the homes, which is 2.8 million, you just saw the graph, right, went up for foreclosure, and the bottom fell out. Just 2%. And that was because of the LTV, right? LTV problem. Why is this a bigger tsunami, in my opinion? Because it's dealing directly with the consumer's cash flow. Remember, cash flow is king, right? Cash flow is the most powerful word in business. Cash flow is king here. And what he's talking about is because of inflation. Let me say it again for the folk in the back row. Because of inflation, the cost of goods and services going up, people decided to manufacture a pay raise because incomes begin to plateau, but the cost of goods and services, because of inflation, continue to rise, right? So people manufactured a pay raise by borrowing more on their credit cards, creating more debt. Now, what's happening is people cannot pay for the mortgage payment, the car payment, and the credit card payment. That's why you mentioned debt to income ratio, or DTI ratio, guys. So is it going to go higher than 2%? I believe so. I believe so. Let's keep going, guys. We're almost done. We're almost done, guys. And then I give you the count move. Don't worry about it at all. It's going to be all good.
What percent of houses had a foreclosure filing in the last downturn? 2%, 5%, 10%, or 20%. Most of you said it was 10 to 20% of all houses that had a foreclosure rate, but it wasn't even close to that. And so my overall point here is that people don't understand unfortunately, just how at risk this housing market is.
Man, it's
It only
boy,
takes a little uptick
a
in
little bit.
mortgage defaults and foreclosures to
He's
cause
correct.
big problems all across the housing market.
Especially with how low home buyer demand is right
Ooh, he
now
going to another
in
factor.
2024, everyone,
He's another
because the
factor.
housing market and home prices, it's really a function of two different things.
It is
Very important you guys understand this. One is the demand to buy homes.
correct.
The other is the supply of homes selling on the market.
Correct.
And so far in this video, we're talking about foreclosures and the likely increase in supply
Yes.
of homes in the future.
Yes.
That's one mechanism that we really need to bring prices down.
Mm-hmm.
The other mechanism we need to bring prices down is declining buyer demand, which
There
is
we
already
go.
here.
Correct.
Buyer demand in the housing market is at its lowest level in 3 decades. With mortgage applications to buy a house collapsing down to the
Wow.
lowest level in 30 years. You can see through the beginning of 2024, our mortgage
Wow.
application index is 134. That's
Wow.
literally one of the lowest levels on record. You have to go all the way back to
Wow.
the mid 1990s to find such low demand.
Now, guys, I want y'all to understand this again. Why again? Don't listen to the spin. Look at the fruits concerning the economy. Right? Why are the applications so low? It's extremely simple. Number one, people can't afford a mortgage payment. Right? Number two, why would they graduate up to a higher interest rate? Right? And then number three, again, consumers manufactured a pay raise by borrowing more on a credit card, therefore increasing their debt load and adding additional payment, a higher payment, right, onto their balance sheet. That's called liability. That is exactly what is happening. It's real simple. It's not hard. Look at the fruits. If this was a wrong economy, if everything was going so well when it comes to the real estate market and any other markets, would this be happening? Let me have here the answer. The answer is hell no. It would not be happening at all. Look at the fruits. Even test what I'm telling you. Don't take my word as the gospel. Test what I'm telling you, right? Test what I am telling you. It's not that hard, guys. We're almost done. Then we'll get to the kind of move. I got you. Don't you worry with your partner. Got you, baby. I got a good one for y'all today. Here we go. Let's get back into it.
Demand for people to use mortgages to purchase houses. In addition, investor demand in the housing market has also tanked, with Redfin reporting that the number of homes purchased by investors in the fourth quarter of 2023 is sitting at its lowest rate since about 2016. So you can see the big spike in investor purchases during the pandemic. These investor purchases have collapsed down, which actually was a leading indicator in the last crash.
Stop right there. Okay. Ooh, let me dive into this one. He's using the word investor. All right. All right. Okay, get your pens and out for this one here, guys. He's using the word investor. And he is actually right when it comes to investor. But what type of investor is he talking about? Look at the map here. Look at it, guys. It's right there. He talked about a pandemic and now. What investors were the most active during the pandemic and now? Institutional investors, BlackRock, Vanguard, State Street. Now watch this, guys. Here's the trick. Why were they so active during that time frame? Well, guess who got some of that manufactured money? Actually, a lot of it were those three entities. They were the guys that were buying entire subdivisions, new construction properties, and they were paying 25 to 50% over the asking price, therefore pricing out the regular consumer. They're very active, right? They're very active. Now, why? Now, get this. Those three entities didn't use their own money. They used investors' money. Who are those investors? Simple, retirees, 401k, IRA, Roth IRA, 403b, TSPs, you name it. You know what they are. They used your money to do that. Now, if you go a little bit further, you actually see that the activity is going down a lot. Why? Because they bought terrible. And when you buy terrible, what do? properties begin to decrease in value, properties are vacant for a long period of time. You've seen that, right? And then two, what you also see is whenever properties are beginning to be vacant at times, investors change their approach. But I'm gonna tell you this here: this was not there. This was at BlackRock, State Street, and Vanguard didn't change their approach. This is all part of their plan. Now what happens is price points go down, right? Right up, goes down. Now whose money have they lost? Not their money. They lost your money, the retirees' money. And guess who steps in? Another entity that BlackRock, Vanguard, and State Street actually own, and then they use their money to buy properties at a discount from themselves, therefore making them a crap load of money. What's their model? Lease. Remember the saying, you will own nothing and be happy. America is turning into a renter nation. It's coming. I would say it's actually here. There's a big shift going on right now, a huge shift going on right now in investor circles. I hear it all the time. Guys, I'm one of the investors buying these properties. Me, Cliff, and I, we are. This ain't theory. We're actively doing this. Right? So, I'm in that video right there, guys. Great information, guys. So, what is the real estate counter move, guys? All right. Very simple. You come here for solutions, not just talk about the problems. So we talk about the problem, what's actually happening in the market right now, right? Right. That the news is not talking about. So what is the solutions that investors in these circles are talking about? Your partner is here for you, don't you worry, baby. Now, you heard me say this before. Creative financing deals, right, are going to become rampant. Why am I saying this? You saw in the video, right? Him comparing '07 to now. There's a reason why he was doing it, and I think it was brilliant because they kind of mirror one another, right? As far as context, little different variables there, but the same kind of a context there. But why is that wise? Because of the fact that that's when creative financing deals became extremely rampant. Now, why do I say that? Because I'm the one that actually was running to these deals. I was in '08, and I was in '07 and '08. Man, a guy bought so many properties during that time frame creatively. Creatively, guys. I'm trying to tell you, it is right for these type of creative financing ideas. Now, what are these techniques or these investment strategies? I'm glad you actually asked. The first one, guys, is seller financing, right? Seller financing is one of the most powerful, non-talked about techniques in real estate. Now, the seasoned people know what this is. The novices and the ones that really just focus on just flipping alone, they know about it but don't know about it. The novices don't know about it at all. Like, what is seller financing? Very simple. It's when an owner of a property becomes a bank themselves to the borrower. Give you an example, okay? Right? And I'm going to put up the calculator for you guys so you can see exactly what I'm talking about real quickly. I believe in showing you the numbers so you can see what's going down. All right? I got you. Don't you worry. Your partner got you. Here we go. Now, boom. Got you. All right, guys. Here is a calculator, right? Boom. Get that away. This is seller financing, right? You actually have someone, let's say, for instance, you're selling a property right now for, let's say, I'm going to keep it very simple, $100,000, right? Here we go, 100 grand. And what's happening is you want to become the bank to someone. You are now the owner of the property, right? And someone wants to buy your property, but they want you to finance it out to them, seller finance. Typically, you can get about a 10% down payment, right? So 100,000 times 10%, right? That's $10,000, right? So therefore, they're bringing to the closing table, guys, 10,000. That goes to you. as the seller slash banker, right? Now what happens is you didn't give that borrower a promissory note of the leftover balance. What's that balance? It's $90,000, right? So you have 100,000. I know you guys know what it is, but I'm walking through the numbers. 100,000 minus 10,000, right? That is $90,000. That's a promissory note. Typically, you're negotiating where you'll tell them, if I do this, I want an interest rate of, let's just say, 8%. 8%, not simple interest, compound interest. So most people understand how to do one thing, guys. That's very simple. They know how to do one thing, is they know how to just pay a mortgage payment. What if you could actually collect a mortgage payment coming into you every month for the next 30 years, 30 years, 30 years, right? What if you could actually receive someone paying you a mortgage payment for 30 years? Not bad, is it? Now you can get a little bit complex with it if you want to. You can do a 10-year balloon if you want to, 5-year balloon. You can do 40 amortization. You can do whatever you want to do with it. You can do a 8, 9, 10% interest rate. Typically, guys, when it comes to seller financing, right? Seller financing, the normal interest rate is between 8 to 10%. I'm not lying. That's the normal interest rate, right? It's normal interest rate. It's 8 to 10%. If you're at home, do a mortgage calculator on this. You can see how much money you can make just by doing this. If you're on the free and clear, oh my God. If your debt service payment, your interest rate that you have for borrowing the money, let's say is at 5%, and you're collecting 10, you're making a 5% delta there. It's not bad for 30 years. Compound interest. Most interest when it comes to mortgages pay within the first 7 to 10 years. So for 7 to 10 years, you are making a crap total, a load of money, right? Because the interest is normally front loaded on a mortgage. Guys, it's real simple. It's not hard at all. That is one technique. So seller financing is a powerful tool. Now you can also buy a property seller finance, right? All you do is you just what we talked about, just reverse it. All you do now then is this here is you have to bring the down payment to the table, right? And then you're actually paying a mortgage payment. Typically, whenever someone is selling finance that property out, they normally can't sell a property, spend a market for a long period of time, or you introduce the technique of seller financing. Typically, a lot of baby boomers would do this because of the fact that they don't want to liquidate their property at the time right now, because then they got to pay 40 to 45 cents on the dollar to Uncle Sam. So what seller finance allows them to do is to continue that monthly income that they are used to coming in on a monthly basis, and they pay a fraction of the taxes on that cash flow. Simple, guys. Not hard. Makes sense, guys? Number 2, guys. Rental property investing. You heard what people talk about when it comes to the World Economic Forum. They'll say you'll own nothing and be happy. Okay. Why don't you own it and then list it out to other people? Right? It seems to be where they're going. Copy that model. Oh my God, guys. Let me give you an example on this as well. Let's say if it's you actually own the property right now. You own the property. You bought the property, right? You renovated it, which is great. You increased the value of that bad boy. Now your exit strategy is to lease or rent the property out. Now let's say for instance, for example, I'm using something very simple. $100,000, right? Is the value of the property post renovation, right? It's in livable condition, right? Typically what happens, guys, you can actually collect a rental ratio on the property based on the value of the property. What's that ratio? It's normally about 1.2%, right? So therefore, you could be collecting in a lease payment gross $1,200 per month renting. If you're all in rental, if you're all in debt service, and that's including taxes, insurance, let's say it's for that property is around like let's say it's $500 a month, right? You're cash flowing, and that is taxes and insurance and principal and interest. So it's $500 a month. Again, I'm making a guesstimate there. You're making $700 a month cash flow per month. Per month. If you do this, guys, for instance, once a quarter, you can say once a month, but I'm gonna use once a quarter because I know where you have once a quarter, $700 times a month times 12, guys, right? It's $8,400 a month. Remember, you're doing it once a quarter. So multiply this, guys, times 4. So on an annual basis, you're making $33,600 on an annual basis. Is that right? Actually, I might be wrong. 1 second, guys. $700, right? Times 4. Here we go. 4 quarter. That times, I was wrong. That times 12. My bad, guys. That would be, actually, I'm right. That's a lot of cash flow. Good God. $33,600 annually. So you're making more than what people make on an annual basis off just the cash flow. That's life changing. That's what you're buying one property a quarter and netting $700 a month. A quarter, right? A quarter. Again, let me rock your skull again, guys. Let's just say, for instance, guys, in this rental scenario, right? The after repair value is $100,000. Let's just say, for instance, guys, you actually owe, let's say $70,000. So $70,000, right? You owe $70,000 on this. Now, guys, you have $30,000 worth of equity. Again, times 4, once a quarter. That's $1,200. That's $120,000 of equity that your net worth has grown now. That means your borrowing power, right? That's life change. So you've now grown your net worth to $120,000, right? And you've also added to your balance sheet $33,600 on an annual basis. Cash flow. Ain't bad. Now watch this. Can I rack your skull again, guys? Depending on who your CPA is, right? This $33,600 annually, guys, because you borrowed to that, can actually be tax free if you have a good wealth management plan prescribed to you. So you can pay literally zero in taxes on this. I know. It's all good, y'all. Hey, man, I told y'all today was going to be a good one. It was going to be a good one, y'all. It's going to be a good one today, man. So, guys, man, I hope you guys were blessed with this time frame. I hope I guys added some value, man. I want to go into this real quickly here, just so you can see exactly what's going on. But man, it's been a good week for your partner, man. Very eventful week. I'm tired, but it is what it is, guys. But man, thank you so much for your time, for blessing with your time, guys. Now, again, guys, we have a sponsor, right? One of my companies, American Rounds, guys. Man, this company has been taking off for us, guys. Let's go ahead and listen to their commercial. Here we go.
Majors, I'm the CEO of American Rounds. We are in Pell City, Alabama at Fresh Value grocery store installing the first ever automated retail machine for ammunition. The stores were really the inspiration for it. I mean, they knew their customer base and they came to us and thought this would be a really good opportunity for their customer base. There's a lot of hunting community here in Pell City and thought that their customers would love an opportunity to be able to buy ammunition here at the store.
We're super excited to offer, what we think is the first ammo kiosk. We're always looking for ways to give our customer another reason to come visit our stores. Anything that we can do to help them make their shopping trips easier based on the feedback that we've gotten just from customers today. They are so excited about us having the ammo kiosk.
We're getting ammo!
One of the ways we're changing the landscape of ammunition sales is to make it more available. Being able to move into a place like a grocery store, supermarket makes it a lot more available to the public. But we're taking a different approach to it. Traditionally, ammunition is sold at outdoor type stores, your sporting goods stores, and it just sits on a shelf. It's very accessible. Because of that, there's a high rate of theft. But with our machines, as you can see here, we have a very secure automated retail machine. We're able to age verify, We scan a driver's license. It then takes 360 facial recognition for the purchase and matches it to the ID. So the machines really provide an opportunity for safe, affordable, and available ammunition sales.
There is no doubt that foot traffic will increase based on the feedback that we've gotten. And again, we're super excited not only to have it here, but in other locations in Fresh Value as well.
You know, we're really excited about where we're going. We are going to continue to expand here in Alabama. We have machines slated to go into Oklahoma, Louisiana, Texas. So over the next year, you know, we're looking forward to, you know, seeing these roll out all throughout the South and the Southeast.
Guys, that's American Rounds, man. That company, guys, that I invested in as well. Also, I'm a partner in that firm. It's just exploded, guys. He mentioned Oklahoma in the commercial. We're actually already in Oklahoma, and it's exploding in Oklahoma. Exploding. We're also in Alabama. We'll be in Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi. We have orders from Michigan, Washington State. You name it, we're out there. Man, Arkansas. It is exploding, guys. We can be more happy. I think we have a $1 billion baby on our hands. So, guys, man, thank you so much for your time, man. God bless you. I pray, man. And if you want to follow anything with American Rounds, just go to American Rounds on all platforms. Just put @American Rounds, and also just go to AmericanRounds.com, and you can see exactly where we're at, guys. But guys, thank you so much for your time. God bless you. You know, I end it every single time. I know it's going to be even more epic because it's just me and you get to see me. Before you leave, guys, and while you can, you see that thing, baby, take that damn picture and give it to your mama and them. And guys, holler at your partner. God bless you guys. See you next week. Peace.
God give thanks. Bless God give thanks. Bless God give thanks. Bless God.